Hello and welcome to episode 11 of your Power Packed Podlets. As I'm recording this, it's the 11th of August, and some of you may be noticing it feels like an intense time right now of things that may be going on for you. Maybe this isn't the case. If it's not, then I also invite you to listen to this because you're going to find there's lots of really powerful messages as we're going to be talking about setting boundaries, having space for the inner work as a woman leader and business owner, and finances and all of those things. Maybe you're feeling intense energies right now. Many people I've been speaking to are experiencing that. I myself have been experiencing intense energies, intense things coming to the surface. And as somebody really leaning into the inner work, sometimes it's not easy, right? Those of us who do the inner work, is also understanding that everything that comes to the surface is an opportunity and a gift to grow, to heal, to alchemize whatever it is, to step into a next level of power, of inner peace, of inner safety and confidence, so that we may serve from that place. So if right now, I hope you can't hear the helicopter going overhead. If you can, it's part of the background sound, right? My partner's having a siesta. So if you're currently feeling intense energies and you're struggling with what's coming up for you and alchemizing it, I invite you to see it through the lens of the lessons and the growth, through the lens of gratitude, giving thanks in advance for the growth that can come from this when you choose to look at it directly. So the subject matter for today is an interesting one based on what I've already said, and it's to do with raising your prices. It's to do with assuring that you're charging enough for your expertise, for your time, for your services, not just for you, also for the people that you serve. So this is something that I see is quite common in the world of people who run businesses and are either into the spiritual practices or run spiritual businesses. There is a perception around what is right and good to be charging. There is a strong narrative which is now shifting of lack and scarcity when it comes to businesses that help others, whether it's through artistic endeavors, healing, yoga, fitness, nutrition, music, art, dance, etc., etc. Keep filling in, whatever it might be for you, coaching, mentoring, design, whatever it may be that you are doing in the service of others. There's quite a common narrative that you must charge as little as possible because you don't believe that people can afford it. And what happens is, and I'm actually going to give you a context and example because this was me in the past. When we are not charging enough and it's required that we work so much, we don't have the space as individuals to actually do the inner work that the world desperately is calling for right now. You may or may not resonate with this message. You may have heard it a lot, that there is a shift happening, that people are waking up and it's happening fast. You maybe noticed in quarantine that more and more people started to turn to the inner work, started to actually acknowledge choosing to work on themselves, whether they put it under the bracket of personal development or whatever title they give it, meditation, breath work, physical practices, etc., etc. More and more people going within to actually know themselves and be with themselves and their body and their mind and their breath and their path in life. And one of the most important things that we can do is to model what we wish others to be able to experience themselves. Because if you are here listening to this message, whether you see yourself as this or not, you're a light worker. You've chosen to incarnate in human form to help others in some way, whether it's through what you do or who you be or both. Who you be is the most important of those two, because you could be an opera singer, and who you be is a person who is continually leading yourself to connect deeper and deeper with your light, to acknowledge your own darkness and take responsibility for your inner turmoil, and to show up for yourself and continue doing that. And through being that person and an opera singer, seen by many people, You lead by that example and you inspire because you show up and you show up and you show up. You alchemize your darkness. Here goes another helicopter. It's a popular day for helicopters, apparently. And so, not long ago, I'm grateful that I've always been determined to spend my time work-wise doing things I'm genuinely passionate about, things that I genuinely love. And so even when I was working myself to the bone, I was doing things that I loved. And there was a level of nervous system, mind, and energetic exhaustion because I was charging so little, I had to work so much to pay my bills, that there wasn't enough time and mental and nervous system space to actually do the work that was required to step continually and softly into next level of leadership again and again and again. And so I found that working with my clients, because I was constantly in contact hours, I was constantly holding space, I was constantly serving others, and there was no space in between. Even though I was doing my yoga practice and meditation and all of that, there was not enough space in between to actually take a big enough breath and to acknowledge every single thought, automated nervous system response, belief that was keeping me in lack, fear, and scarcity, that was keeping me in repeated programs that were causing me to create results I did not want and to have interactions with others that were not serving. Because that's the real work that transforms your experience. As long as we are looking externally to ourselves and fixating on the problem being out there, nothing changes. I know you know this. Maybe today this message lands in a way it's never landed before. It is not about focusing on fixing the problem external to you. It is going within and acknowledging all of your beliefs, thoughts, assumptions, and automated nervous system responses that create that reality external to you. Because as Wallace Wattles talks about in The Science of Getting Rich, it is your thoughts that impress onto formless substance and manifest reality into existence. Science is now catching up with what spirituality has said for so long. And those of you who are in the certification, you'll be excited to know we're going so effing deep into understanding the science and spirituality realm when it comes to holding space for your clients and also holding space for yourself. So this is kind of the beginning of that conversation. Science is now catching up and proving that reality external to us does not exist through how we experience it through the five senses. We do not perceive through our five senses what is actually external to us. It is all a creation through thought. We imagine it into existence. And so by constantly focus on the external and on the material, trying to change the material, the journey is slow. The work, when things begin to speed up and you're making quantum leaps and things are changing in ways that don't seem to make sense, is when you're going within and seeing what within you is creating your external reality. And having the self-leadership to take responsibility for it, to acknowledge it is not who or what you are, and then choosing what it is you want to program in. And so how does this link into charging enough for your services? By you doing that work and showing up as this version of you who is going within and cleaning up your fears, your trust issues, your traumas, your automated traumatic responses, and showing up as somebody who is in this consistent place of inner safety. Imagine creating your wealth, your freedom, your projects, your mission, the impact, everything from a place of inner safety versus scrambling after the things, worrying if things are going to work, feeling that you're taking on the burden of other people's problems, not having energetic boundaries and other people's things penetrating your energy field, rather than being in that place and actually having the space and time on a daily basis in real time to acknowledge and alchemize everything within you that vibrates at the frequency of lack and scarcity. Imagine from that place not only your life, but everybody around you, the difference you can make. And for that, it is required that you acknowledge the value of what you do, the difference you make in the people that you serve, or the animals you serve, or the planet that you serve, or whatever it may be, to charge accordingly, rather than trying to be affordable all of the time, so that you can continually show up in another level of service that nobody else around you is doing, because they are perpetually stuck in the cycle of believing that reality is external to them. So you can also be the example for the other people around you who want to make a difference. I heard a message the other day. It was a funny reel, actually. And it showed all of these different things from different movies. And the last one, it was quite moving, in fact, also to read the comments. I'll have to see if I can dig this reel out. And it said, Lightworkers Unite. Lightworkers Unite. And so let me also integrate this into the message, because what do we mean by a light worker? Somebody who wants to do good in the world, to continually show up as a better person towards yourself and those around you, and also be able to help others from that place. A way I like to describe it is that you're a light worker because you're choosing to do that. You are connecting with your light and helping others connect with theirs. It is also a time for us to unite as light workers, to acknowledge that it's not a time for us to be trying to do this all alone. It's time for us to work in community, however that may look for you, to be connected to other people who are choosing to work at the level that you're working at and beyond, so that you are inspired by them, so that they show you how small you are playing, so you can see what it is you're ready to stretch into. If you're feeling that call, maybe you've felt it all your life, to make a difference. What can I do to make a difference? It begins within you. Okay. So first off, do you see that you are charging enough for what you do? Do you have narratives around how much you charge that are limiting you and also the people that you work with, the level at which you can serve? Do you find that the amount that you have to work because of what you're charging is getting in the way of you continually upgrading your nervous system capacity and your mental and nervous system programs? Let me talk about nervous system capacity for a moment, so you can understand, what do we mean by nervous system capacity? What is it to expand your nervous system capacity, to hold more, to deal with more? What it means is that we cease to have an emotional response to things that are currently affecting you. So if you currently feel that you're at capacity, it's to do with the stories that you have around the things in your life and the nervous system responses that you're having. That is what's taking you off balance, not the experience itself. And so when you're able to neutralize your nervous system responses, you have capacity to hold more because it no longer affects you. And this is when we can truly serve at greater and greater and greater levels. Okay. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, this is what I want. I want to do the work. I am here. If you're one of those women, I know there are guys listening to this as well. If you're one of those women that you're here to really make a difference, and you're committed and you're invested in doing the work to assure that you're showing up as the example that you want to spread, the example of what it is to trust yourself, the example of what it is to have inner safety in your nervous system, the example of what it is to be safe in your body, If you're resonating with that and you are choosing to be that person, and you also choose to be led, to be coached, to be guided, to be taught, because you know that makes logical sense, because learning alone, we can only know what we know and what we read in books. We don't have the person who's choosing to be the mirror to reflect back to us what we're not allowing ourselves to see. That does require other human beings. For those of you who want that next level, we have an offer this August that is going to blow your mind. It is going to be beginning in pre-launch at a low ticket rate. This is a high ticket offering being offered at a low ticket rate. And it's something that we very, very rarely do. It's going to give you the opportunity to be in the school space for a short period of time. I'm giving you a little bit of information, not a huge amount. I'm dropping full details tomorrow, which is Tuesday. We will drop them in the WhatsApp group, on my stories, and gradually it will go into the other arenas. If you want to make sure that you don't miss out on this, drop the word offer in the comments below, and I'll make sure that comes to you. If you have any issues dropping that comment, send me a direct message. Okay, signing off for today. I'd be super excited to hear what landed for you in today's podlet. And where did you feel it?